We all chase success, right? But what if the path to, achieving your dreams, finding that real joy and abundance wasn't about more struggle, more effort, or always looking outside yourself? What if it was about tapping into something? Well, something much deeper. Today, we're taking a profound journey into Deepak Chopra's 7 spiritual laws of success. And this isn't just like another self-help guide. It's a pretty radical rethinking of how we achieve fulfillment. We've pulled insights directly from Chopra's foundational book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, and also looked at some really good explanations from YouTube channels like Chopra itself and Safdar Sahar. They offer a rich, detailed look at actually applying these principles.
Yeah, they do. And our mission today, really, is to distill the most important nuggets of knowledge from all these sources.
Yeah.
We want to give you a kind of shortcut to understanding this spiritual framework for success. And it's a framework that promises not just, material gains, but actually a life filled with deep purpose and genuine joy.
Yeah.
So get ready for maybe a few aha moments that might just shift your entire perspective.
I love that. An entire perspective shift. Okay. So let's really unpack this fundamental difference first. I mean, we're constantly bombarded with messages about success, aren't we? How does Chopra's spiritual approach really stand apart from what we're typically taught, the conventional wisdom?
Well, it's a really critical distinction to grasp right from the start. The conventional path, the one most of us learn, either directly or indirectly, it's really rooted in this belief in hard work, right? Ambition, intense effort, struggle, and often competition, like a constant battle against others, against circumstances, sometimes even against ourselves. It's very much about external validation.
External validation, like chasing titles, possessions, getting approval from others, that kind of thing.
Exactly. That's usually the measure of success in that model. The world basically tells us, work harder, compete fiercely, prove yourself, achieve more, and then you'll be successful, then you'll be happy.
Yeah, I know that message well. And yet it seems like so many people achieve those conventional markers, the job, the money, whatever, but still feel empty or just burnt out. We see it all the time. Why do you think that conventional model often falls short?
That's a really crucial observation. It points to the inherent fragility of that model.
Yeah.
See, when your whole sense of self-worth is tied up in having that fancy job title or a certain income level or maybe the approval of one specific person, what happens if you get laid off?
Right. Your identity just shatters.
It can feel like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Your perceived value just disappears overnight. Or think about relationships. If a relationship ends and you've built your worth on being part of that couple, it can feel like you've literally lost a part of yourself, this constant looking outside.
Yeah.
It creates this never-ending need for approval, this exhausting attempt to control everything around you. And underneath it all, there's often this pervasive insecurity. It's like running on a treadmill where the goalpost keeps moving further away. Real satisfaction, it's always just out of reach.
Okay, so if that's the conventional path, often leading to exhaustion or dissatisfaction, how does Chopra's spiritual approach completely reframe that? What's the core promise here?
Well, Chopra's spiritual approach, if we kind of look at the bigger picture, it flips this perspective entirely. It sees success not as something you force into being through struggle, but as an effortless, almost natural outcome. Something that just unfolds when you align yourself with these fundamental laws of the universe.
Alignment, not force.
Exactly. Not about battling the world or even battling yourself. It's about finding harmony with, the basic laws of nature, the intelligence of the universe, and really with our own true essence, our deeper self. It's a massive shift from constant doing all that effort to control outcomes to a state of just being, allowing success and fulfillment to happen more gracefully. It suggests the universe is inherently abundant. It's designed for our well-being if we can just learn its language and kind of flow with its current.
Wow. So less about brute force, more about finding and writing a natural current. That sounds, it sounds incredibly liberating, honestly, especially when the world keeps telling us to grind harder. It's almost countercultural, isn't it?
It really is. It challenges a lot of deeply ingrained beliefs.
Okay, so let's dive into these 7 laws themselves now. Because you said they're interconnected, right? They form a kind of holistic path.
Absolutely. They build on each other beautifully. It's a complete system.
Yeah.
Hashtag A. The law of pure potentiality. Law 1.
All right, law number 1. The law of pure potentiality. This feels like the foundation for everything else. What does Chopra actually mean when he says our essential nature is pure consciousness? What is that?
It is absolutely foundational, yeah. This law basically states that our essential nature, like the very core of who we are, is pure consciousness. And that consciousness isn't limited. It's a field of infinite possibilities, boundless creativity, endless potential. Our true self, beneath all the layers of ego, social conditioning, the identities we wear, it's spiritual, it's unlimited, it's timeless.
Yeah.
So success then, in this framework, doesn't really come from outside us at all. It comes from understanding, connecting with, and ultimately just being this inner true self. The potential is already there, inside. It's accessed through inner stillness, self-awareness, not by chasing things externally.
That really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? Where do our listeners typically look for that sense of worth? Chopra makes this really key distinction between object referral and self-referral. Can you break those down? They sound critical.
They are critical. So object referral, that's when you're constantly looking outside yourself for validation, for your sense of worth, your identity. You get it from other people's opinions, maybe material things, your job title, your circumstances.
Right, the external stuff.
Exactly. And it's inherently ego-based, often driven by fear, like fear of not being good enough. And because it depends on externals, it's incredibly fragile. Like we said, you lose the job, your self-worth crashes. The relationship ends, you feel like you've lost yourself.
Makes sense. It's a shaky foundation.
Very shaky. And it leads to this constant need for approval, this exhausting effort to control situations, and just this background hum of insecurity, always needing more from the outside. Self-referral, on the other hand, is the really powerful choice to be your own internal reference point. You don't look outside for acceptance or validation. You find it within.
You provide it yourself.
Precisely. And this freedom, this liberation, it comes from self-knowledge, from connecting deeply with your spiritual essence. It frees you from all that fear and insecurity that drives object referral. You just know your inherent worth, regardless of what's happening outside.
Okay, that sounds like the goal. But how do we actually do that? If we're so conditioned to look outside, how can we shift to this self-referral state and tap into that pure potential day to day? What are the practical steps?
Great question. You apply it by consciously making time each day for 3 key practices: silence, meditation, and non-judgment. See, by purposefully stepping away from the external world's noise and also the mind's constant chatter, you create this space, this quiet space inside to connect with your core self, that field of infinite possibilities we talked about.
Silence and meditation. How much time are we talking?
Chopra actually suggests meditating for at least 30 minutes twice a day, if possible. And this isn't just about relaxing, although that's nice. It's about building this deep inner stillness, creating what he calls a gap between your thoughts.
A gap between thought.
Yeah, that gap, that space of pure awareness, is your direct line to pure potentiality. Think of it like throwing a stone into a lake. If the lake is calm and still, the ripples spread far and wide, right? Your intentions, your creativity, they can flow outwards.
But if the lake is choppy?
Exactly. If it's turbulent, agitated by constant thoughts and external noise, any intention you throw in just gets lost. It dissipates. The stillness allows the potential to manifest.
Okay, stillness is key. What about non-judgment? That sounds tricky.
It can be, but it's crucial. It means actively practicing, not labeling experiences or people or situations as strictly good or bad. When you stop creating these rigid mental boxes, you can just be present with pure awareness. And that opens you up to all potential solutions and creative responses, things you might miss if you immediately slap a label on something. The mantra associated with this is Om Prabham Nama. It invokes that sense of pure being.
Interesting. And you mentioned nature, too.
Yes, spending time in nature is another powerful practice. Just observe, watch a sunset, listen to a stream, look closely at a flower blooming. Notice the effortless intelligence there. Nature doesn't struggle, it just is. It reminds you of that inherent organizing power in the universe, which you're also part of. And Safdar Sahar, on his channel, he really emphasizes the vow of silence as well. Maybe starting small, like 2 hours of conscious silence, gradually increasing it to a day, maybe even a week.
Wow, a whole week.
Yeah, it sounds intense. But he says initially you might feel a lot of internal noise or anxiety, but if you persist, it leads to this profound inner peace and stillness. It really strengthens the mind's ability to let go of that constant mental chatter and just be in that state of pure potentiality.
That makes so much sense. Connecting the stillness, that gap, directly to creative power. It's about cultivating the inner world, not just reacting to the outer one.
Exactly. It's an inside-out approach. Hashtag B, the law of giving, law 2.
Okay, next up is the law of giving. This one seems pretty straightforward, be generous, but I have a feeling there's more to it than just writing a check, right? Is it more about energy?
Oh, absolutely. It's much deeper, much more about energy. The law of giving isn't just about material things, though that can be part of it. It's fundamentally about understanding and participating in the dynamic flow of energy that, well, makes up the universe. The core idea is simple, but really powerful. To receive abundance, you have to first give.
Give what, though?
Anything, really. Your time, your genuine love, your focused attention, sincere appreciation, a heartfelt compliment, even silent blessings, or just wishing others well, praying for their happiness. It's a huge spectrum. But the key part, the really critical element, is to give joyfully. And, crucially, without expecting anything back. No strings attached.
No keeping score.
Exactly. It's not a transaction. It's about keeping the cycle of giving and receiving constantly moving. That ensures this continuous flow of abundance in all its forms into your life. The moment you give with an expectation, you kind of taint the energy. You hinder the natural flow back to you.
So giving without expectation actually creates the flow.
Yes, it initiates it and sustains it. Generosity becomes this self-renewing source of well-being connected to the universe.
You mentioned the universe is always in motion, always exchanging. What happens if we try to stop that flow? Like if we hoard resources or hold back our energy?
Well, think about it. The entire universe is constant exchange. Your body exchanges with its environment constantly. Your mind exchanges information. Your life energy flows. Sahar explains this so well. He says, stopping this flow, whether it's hoarding wealth or holding back kindness or even stifling your creativity, it's like stopping the blood flow in your body.
Wow, okay.
Stagnates,
Yeah.
becomes toxic. It inhibits life. Wealth in this context isn't just money. It's a symbol of circulating life energy. If you hoard it, cling to it tightly, you're essentially locking that vital energy from flowing back to you. You create stagnation, not just financially, but emotionally and spiritually too.
That's a really powerful way to think about it. Money as circulating energy, not just something to accumulate.
Exactly. And this applies to relationships too, right? They're built on give and take.
Yeah.
But the intention behind the giving is absolutely paramount. If you give because you're greedy or you secretly want something back, the energy behind it is weak. It's conditional. But if you give with the sole purpose of creating happiness for yourself and others from a place of genuine peace and joy,
Yeah.
that energy multiplies. It comes back to you many, many times over. It's like investing in universal goodwill.
Okay, so how do we make this practical? How do we practice this daily, beyond just, occasional grand gestures?
A really simple practical application is to decide, just for today, that everyone you encounter, you'll offer them something, a gift.
Doesn't have to be big.
Not at all. It could be a sincere compliment, sharing a flower from your garden, just a kind thought, a silent blessing for their well-being. Remember that old saying, never visit someone empty-handed? It's about that principle, consciously putting good energy out there. And just as importantly, learn to gratefully receive all the gifts that come your way, whether it's from nature, sunlight, birdsong, a beautiful view, or from other people. Receiving graciously completes the cycle. It keeps the flow going. The mantra, Om Vardhanam Nama, which means I nourish the universe and the universe nourishes me, helps connect with this flow. Hashtag C, the law of karma, or cause and effect, law 3.
All right, law 3, karma, cause and effect. Most people have heard of this, what goes around comes around. But what's the deeper, more practical insight here? How do we use this law proactively to actually shape our lives, rather than just reacting to consequences?
Yeah, it's much more than just simple payback. The law states that every action, yes, but also every thought and every word you put out generates this force of energy. And that energy returns to you in kind. Always. We are constantly, like every single moment, making choices. And each one, conscious or not, sets the course for our future. So the deeper insight is to become incredibly mindful of your choices right here, right now, understanding they have ripple effects.
Mindful choices. So it's about intentionality again. Is there a kind of filter we can use before we act or speak to align with this law?
There is. Chopra suggests a very practical filter. The key is to consciously try to make choices that bring happiness and fulfillment not just to yourself, but also to others affected by the choice. It's about mutual well-being. So before you act or speak or even dwell on a certain thought, ask yourself this simple question. Will this choice bring happiness to me and to those affected by it? If the honest answer is yes, then go for it. Proceed with confidence. But if the answer is no, if you can see it leading to unhappiness, depression, suffering for you or others, then the law advises, abandon that choice. That's your moment of power right there.
Yeah.
It requires that pause, that honest check-in.
That's a great filter. Simple but profound. But, so many of our choices feel automatic, don't they? Like we're on autopilot. How do we actually become more conscious in the moment?
That's a really important point. How do we break free from autopilot? Safdar Sahar has a brilliant take on this. He says karma isn't about fate. It's actually the principle of human freedom. Our thoughts, words, actions, they are the threads we use to weave our reality. The problem is, we often make these choices unconsciously, like reflexes, and then we blame external stuff when things go wrong. We forget we always have the power to choose our response.
Like being conditioned.
Exactly like conditioning. He uses the Pavlov's dog's example. They salivated at the bell, automatically. Many humans react just as mechanically to situations, forgetting they have a choice. To break that conditioning, you need to step back. Become the witness, the observer of your own choices, your own reactions. Just the act of observing, watching yourself without judgment, starts to transform unconscious reactions into conscious choices. That observation is your power.
Becoming the witness. I like that. And you mentioned the body having wisdom, too. How does that play in?
Yes, your body is an amazing compass. When you're facing a choice, tune into your physical sensations. What do you feel? Often a sense of comfort, ease, maybe lightness, indicates it's the right choice for you. Whereas discomfort, tightness, a feeling of unease, that often suggests it's not the right path. Your heart, Chopra says, is connected to universal intelligence. It often knows the right answer intuitively, way before your logical mind catches up. Trusting that gut feeling, that heart wisdom, is part of conscious choice. The mantra, Om Kriyam Nama, my actions are aligned with cosmic law, can help here.
Okay, using the body as a guide. That's practical. But what about past karma? Old mistakes, things we regret? Are we just stuck with those consequences forever, or can we do something about them?
Not stuck at all. Chopra outlines 3 ways to deal with past karma. One is simply paying the debt. Sometimes, you experience the consequences. The universe has its own balancing system. It's about accepting the lesson, paying the energetic debt, and moving on without resentment.
Okay, what else?
Second is transforming past karma. This is really powerful. Instead of just enduring a negative experience, you consciously ask, what's the lesson here? How can I use this negative experience to actually benefit others?
Turning it to something positive.
Exactly. Maybe an injury inspires you to help others avoid the same thing, or write about recovery. You're actively transforming the energy of a past debt into a future opportunity for growth and service. Recycling the energy.
And the third way?
The third is transcendence. This is more of a spiritual practice. You go beyond the whole cycle of action and reaction by regularly entering that gap between thoughts through deep meditation. Connecting with your true self, that pure awareness, actually purifies past karmic seeds. It liberates you from their influence, breaking the cycle. You rise above it by aligning with a higher consciousness. #####D. The law of least effort. Law 4.
Okay, Law 4, the law of least effort. Now, this one sounds amazing, but also maybe a bit suspicious. We're so programmed to believe success requires maximum effort, hustle, grind. How does least effort work without just being, well, lazy?
That's the immediate reaction, isn't it? But it's absolutely not about laziness. It's about profound wisdom, actually.
Yeah.
This law teaches us to work with nature's forces, not against them. Instead of constant struggle, forcing outcomes, battling circumstances, we achieve our goals by releasing resistance, by aligning with the universe's inherent intelligence. Think about nature itself. Does a flower struggle to bloom?
No, it just blooms.
Exactly. Effortlessly, when the conditions align. A river doesn't force its way. It finds the path of least resistance. The core idea here is that by aligning with nature's intelligence through acceptance, responsibility, and defenselessness, your desires can manifest with grace and ease. You conserve your vital energy for creativity, not for fighting reality. Okay, conserving energy. You mentioned earlier that the ego is a big energy drain. How does that connect to least effort? That's a crucial link. Chopra points out that focusing on the ego, our sense of self-importance, our need to control, our desire for status or external approval, consumes the most energy. It's incredibly inefficient. We waste vast amounts of energy chasing fleeting validation, trying to manage perceptions, defending our positions. But when our actions are motivated by love, which Chopra sees as the universe's fundamental energy, then energy is conserved. It accumulates. It can be channeled creatively toward what we truly desire.
So chasing ego stuff is literally draining the battery we need for real creation.
Precisely. Safdar Sar explains this really well too. If your motivation is love, energy builds up. If your ego is running the show, seeking power over others or wealth just to control, it creates blockages. It obstructs the natural flow of energy from the universe. The ego operates from fear and separation, so it's constantly needing to prove, defend, control, all very high-energy, low-return activities.
Wow. That puts a whole new light on ambition and drive. It's like, is it ego-driven or love-driven? Okay, so this law has three components, right? Acceptance, responsibility, defenselessness. Let's break those down.
Yes, these three are the pillars of least effort. First, acceptance. This means accepting people, situations, events exactly as they are in this present moment. Not fighting them, not wishing they were different.
Even if you don't like them.
Even then. Because this moment is the sum total of all past moments. Fighting the present is like fighting the entire universe you can't win. You can still desire a different future, but you must first accept the present reality. Realize, too, that when you get upset, you're usually reacting to your feelings about the situation, not the situation itself. Acceptance isn't approval, it's just acknowledging what is.
Okay, acceptance of the isness. What about responsibility?
Responsibility here isn't about blame or taking on undue burdens. It's about consciously choosing not to blame others or external circumstances for your situation. It's recognizing that you always choose your response to any event. This perspective shift turns every perceived problem into a hidden opportunity. A chance for growth, transformation, creative solutions. Every challenge becomes a teacher. You move from victim to creator.
Shifting from blame to responsibility. Got it. And the last one, defenselessness. This sounds vulnerable.
It sounds vulnerable, but it's actually incredibly powerful. Defenselessness means letting go of the ego's constant need to defend your point of view, to prove you're right, to convince others.
Oh, the energy saved from arguments alone.
Exactly. Think how much energy gets wasted in debates where no one is really listening, just trying to win. When you embrace defenselessness, you conserve that huge reservoir of energy. It can then be channeled into creation, into manifesting your desires. It's about being open, receptive, not rigidly defending a fixed position.
Okay, so letting go of the need to be right actually frees up energy for success. How does that connect to outcomes?
When you stop resisting, stop defending, stop blaming, you stop fighting the current of life. You start to flow with it. Remember Sahar's metaphor, the rigid old tree breaks in the storm. The flexible sapling bends and survives. Non-resistance lets you fully experience the present moment, which is the only place real power exists. It frees you from the weight of past regrets and future anxieties. This leads to intuitive joy, inner peace. And from that place, desires manifest effortlessly, fueled by joy, not fear or desperation. The mantra Om Daksham Nama, my actions achieve maximal benefit with minimal effort, aligns with this. Hashtag ego in the law of intention. The law of intention and desire, Law 5.
Okay, Law 5. Intention and desire. This feels like we're getting right into the heart of manifestation, right? How we actually create what we want. But it comes after things like least effort, and it's tied to detachment, which is next. So what's the interplay here? How do intention and desire work in this spiritual context?
You're right. This is where the mechanics get really interesting. The law of intention and desire basically says that inherent within every genuine intention, every heartfelt desire, is the actual mechanism for its fulfillment. It's already built in.
Yeah.
The universe, being this infinite field of potentiality, has the incredible ability to organize itself, to bring our desires into form. It doesn't need us to micromanage it.
So the potential is there. The universe can organize. What's our role?
Our role comes through consciousness. Specifically, our human nervous system gives us this unique ability to consciously influence the energy and information in this underlying quantum field. We do this primarily through two things: attention and intention.
Attention and intention. Okay, unpack those.
So attention, Chopra uses the word tavayo, is what energizes. Whatever you consistently put your attention on grows stronger in your life. Where attention goes, energy flows. Conversely, if you withdraw your attention from something, it tends to fade, dissipate, lose power. It's like watering a plant or letting it wither.
Makes sense. Focus grows things.
Right. And intention, Yorada, is what transforms. And intention isn't just a wish. It's an organized, focused desire that you consciously plant in that field of potentiality. And that focused intention has the power to orchestrate countless synchronicities, events, connections, all moving towards its fulfillment. Nature shows us this organizing power constantly, right? A tiny seed knows how to become a huge tree. Planets move in perfect orbits. There's an underlying intelligence orchestrating it all. Your intention taps into that same intelligence.
Okay, so our thoughts, our focused desires actually have power to shape reality, but this raises a common question. What's the difference between a clear intention and, say, a rigid expectation? People often think you need strong expectations.
That's a really crucial distinction. And getting it wrong trips a lot of people up. An intention is a clear, focused desire you introduce into the universe, holding it with trust in the universe's organizing power. You state your preference clearly. An expectation, however, is usually a rigid attachment to a very specific outcome, and often more importantly, the exact way you think it should happen and the exact timeline. It's usually laced with fear it won't happen, fear it won't happen the right way.
So intention is clear desire, expectation is rigid attachment.
Exactly. The law teaches, set clear intentions, then detach from the specific outcome. Let the universe handle the how and when. This allows for the possibility that the universe might manifest your desire in a way that's even better or more perfect than what your limited expectation could conceive. Expectation breeds resistance. Intention allows flow.
That's huge. Okay, so detachment is key. How do we apply this whole intention and desire law effectively then without falling into that expectation trap?
Chopra gives a really practical 5-step process. First, find the gaps. Remember the law of pure potentiality. Regularly go into silence, meditation. Find that no-thought gap. Before you enter that state, bring your intentions to mind. Maybe even have them written down. Focus on them clearly. Then, as you enter the silence, gently release them into that field, like planting seeds in the most fertile soil imaginable.
Plant the seed in the silence. Got it. Step 2.
Second, release intentions into the womb of nature. Once planted, trust. Don't keep digging up the seed. Don't constantly worry, fret, check for results, try to force things. Just like a farmer trusts the soil and the seasons, you trust the universe's process. Let it go. Third, remain self-referral. Stay anchored in your true self, your inner knowing. Law 1 again. Don't let external opinions, doubts, or circumstances shake your intention. Chopra even suggests it might be best not to share your deepest intentions widely, at least initially, to keep their energy pure and undiluted by others' potential negativity or skepticism.
Protect the energy. Okay, fourth.
Fourth, detach from the outcome. This leads right to Law 6. Release that tight grip on how or when it has to happen. Consciously embrace uncertainty. Enjoy the journey. Trust that the universe's plan might be grander, more elegant than your own limited view.
Trust and enjoy the ride. And
Fifth, let nature handle the details. Really trust the infinite organizing power of the universe. Trust it to orchestrate all the synchronicities, the right people showing up, the resources appearing, all the complex details needed for your desire to manifest. Your spiritual essence is that creative, organizing power. Trust it's working for you. And one vital point, ensure your intentions are for the good of all, aligned with benefiting humanity, not harming it. This alignment keeps you in the effortless flow of universal energy. The mantra Omritham Nama, meaning my intentions are aligned with cosmic order, helps invoke this. #FS, the law of detachment, Law 6.
Okay, Law 6, detachment. We just touched on it, but this one really feels counterintuitive for a lot of us, doesn't it? To get something, you have to let go of your attachment to getting it. Why is this letting go, this detachment, so critical, especially right after focusing on intention? Doesn't it cancel it out?
It really feels like a paradox at first, but no, it doesn't cancel it out at all. It actually enables intention to work properly.
Yeah.
Safdar Sar really emphasizes this. Detachment is not giving up on your intention or desire. It's giving up your desperate need to control the specific result, the timeline, the how. See, attachment comes from fear and insecurity, from the ego's need to control everything. When you're rigidly attached to things unfolding in one particular way, and then life inevitably throws a curveball, what happens? You get upset, frustrated, you fight reality.
Yeah, you waste a lot of energy fighting what is.
Exactly. That struggle drains your energy, creates stress, and paradoxically, it blocks the very creative solutions and unexpected opportunities that could actually bring your desire about in an even better way. The key insight with detachment is releasing that rigid grip on outcomes and embracing uncertainty actually opens you up to a wider field of possibilities. It allows the universe room to deliver in the most optimal, often surprising ways.
So it's really about accepting the present moment again, even if it's not what you planned or expected, surrendering to what is while still holding the intention.
Precisely. Let's use Sahar's traffic jam example again. You intend to be early for work, but there's an accident, you're stuck, you have a choice. Attachment makes you fight reality. Get stressed, honketh, curse, arrive miserable.
We've all been there.
Right, detachment says, except you'll be late. It's out of your control right now. So relax, listen to music, breathe, arrive calmer. Detachment isn't apathy or irresponsibility. It's recognizing that fighting things you can't control doesn't change them. It only ruins your inner state, your peace, your well-being. It's choosing inner peace over the illusion of external control.
That definitely connects back to least effort, doesn't it? Less fighting means less wasted energy. So what are the practical benefits of cultivating this detachment day to day?
It's absolutely fundamental to least effort. By letting go of controlling externals, you focus your energy where you do have control, on yourself, your inner state, your responses. That's it. This allows you to experience that effortless flow we talked about. You trust that solutions, guidance opportunities will emerge spontaneously when you're not desperately trying to force them. You plant the seed, intention, tend the soil, your inner state, and trust the process. Practicing detachment liberates you to fully inhabit the present moment with all its unexpected gifts and possibilities. Embracing uncertainty instead of fearing it opens you to a vast field of creativity. Solutions you never would have thought of can pop up. Serendipity happens more often. It cultivates what Chopra calls a relaxed awareness, a deep trust that the universe in its wisdom will orchestrate the perfect outcome, even if it looks different from your initial picture. It's freedom from anxiety. It's the doorway to spontaneous joy. The mantra here is Om Anandam Nama. My actions are blissfully free from attachment to outcome. ####G. The law of Dharma, or purpose in life, Law 7.
And finally, Law 7, the law of Dharma. Purpose in life. This feels like the capstone, bringing everything together into a meaningful whole. How do we actually discover and then live our unique purpose, our Dharma, especially when society often pushes us toward certain paths?
It really is the beautiful culmination, yes. It provides the ultimate context for true fulfillment. The law of Dharma states that every single person, without exception, has a unique talent.
Yeah.
And a unique way of expressing that talent. And crucially, that unique talent isn't just for you, it's meant to be used in service to humanity. True fulfillment, lasting abundance, profound joy they arise when you align your unique gifts with serving others. It challenges the idea that we're just here for ourselves. It says our deepest satisfaction comes from contribution.
So fulfillment comes from finding your unique gift and giving it away.
In essence, yes. The key insight is your greatest joy and abundance flow when you discover your unique talents and then lovingly use them to meet the needs of others, thereby aligning with your true spiritual purpose.
Okay, that really ties everything together. Pure potentiality, who we are, the flow of giving, karma, least effort, intention, detachment, leading to purpose. What are the core components of living our Dharma?
Chopra breaks it down into 3 crucial, interconnected parts. First, discovering your true self. This slips right back to Law 1, pure potentiality. Remembering that fundamentally, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, not the other way around. Our core essence is divine, infinite, and it's expressing itself through us for a reason. Knowing who you truly are beneath the surface roles and identities is the absolute first step to understanding why you are here.
Knowing the spiritual self first.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Second part.
Second, identifying your unique talents. This requires some honest self-reflection. Ask yourself, what is my unique gift? What do I naturally love doing? What makes me feel truly alive? When do I lose track of time completely? What can only I do in my own unique way? Maybe better than anyone else or just differently?
And it doesn't have to be something grand or world-changing?
Not at all. It could be a talent for listening deeply, for organizing chaos, for making people laugh, for growing things, for seeing patterns. It's about recognizing your inherent, often underestimated gifts. Don't dismiss the things that come easily to you. That's often where your unique talent lies.
Okay, identify the unique talent. And the third part.
Third, using those talents to serve others. This is where the magic happens. Once you know yourself and your gifts, ask, how can I use these unique talents to serve humanity, to meet the needs of others? When your creative expression, how you uniquely bring yourself to the world, intersects with what others genuinely need or desire, that's when this incredible self-sustaining flow of abundance, joy, and meaning gets activated. It creates this beautiful reciprocal relationship with the universe. Giving and receiving becomes seamless. Your life gains profound significance.
Wow. That shifts success from acquisition to actualization and contribution. Do you have an example that makes this really concrete?
Yes, Asar shares a really powerful personal story. He taught his own children, from when they were just 4 years old, to ask themselves daily, how can I serve humanity? And to focus on discovering their unique talent.
From age 4, wow.
Yeah. He told them explicitly, don't worry about earning money, don't worry about grades, just focus on that question. How can I serve? What is my unique gift? And this deep, consistent focus on purpose, he says, led them to naturally excel academically. And surprisingly, they became financially independent while still in college.
Just by living their purpose.
Exactly. Abundance flowed to them naturally because they were aligned with universal principles, with serving, not with chasing external markers. It illustrates that crucial shift. Moving from the ego's question, what's in it for me, which comes from scarcity, to the soul's question, how can I help, which comes from abundance. That shift instantly moves you out of the ego's limited little box and into the vast kingdom of the soul, where opportunities abound and manifest effortlessly. And it brings not just temporary pleasure, but lasting happiness, deep fulfillment, real prosperity.
That's incredibly inspiring. Okay, so for our listeners, how do we put this into practice? How do we actively start discovering and living our Dharma starting now?
To really apply this law, you can commit to these steps. 1. Connect with your higher self. Make time daily. Sit in silence, meditate. Feel that boundless, timeless essence within you that's expressing itself. Reaffirm your spiritual nature. 2. List your unique talents. Get really honest. What are you naturally good at? What do you love doing? Don't judge or minimize anything. Cooking, organizing, listening, coding, teaching, creating. List it all. 3. List how you love to use them. Go deeper. What specific activities make you feel alive when using those talents? When are you in that state of flow? 4. Ask the service question. Make this a regular, even daily contemplation. How can I use my unique talents to serve others and bring happiness and fulfillment to my life and the lives around me? Think about your job, your hobbies, your interactions. 5. Create an action plan. Based on your answers, start taking steps, however small, to use your talents in service. Maybe it's volunteering, starting a side project, shifting your focus at work, or just bringing that talent more consciously into your relationships. Even tiny steps create momentum. This is truly where the door opens to lasting joy, effortless abundance, and profound spiritual wisdom. It transforms life from a struggle into a purposeful adventure. The mantra Om Varunam Nama invokes cosmic order and can help align you with your purpose. Track 3, interconnectedness and the ultimate goal.
It's so clear listening to all this. These aren't just 7 separate rules. They're woven together, aren't they? Like a beautiful, integrated system. Each one seems to support and amplify the others.
That's absolutely right. They're not meant to be practiced in isolation at all. They're deeply interconnected, forming this holistic, synergistic path. Practicing one naturally deepens your understanding and ability to practice the others. It creates this powerful, positive feedback loop.
Can you give an example of that interplay?
Sure. Think about it. By practicing meditation and silence law of pure potentiality, you naturally become more aware, more conscious of your moment-to-moment choices.
Yeah, less reactive.
Exactly. So that heightened awareness directly helps you apply the law of karma more effectively. You make better, more conscious choices because you're not on autopilot. And that, in turn, allows you to act with less resistance, more flow, aligning with the law of least effort because you're working with life, not fighting it, conserving your energy.
Okay, I see the chain reaction.
Or consider the law of giving. Being generous, circulating energy, opens the channels for your intentions, law of intention, and desire to manifest more easily. You're participating in the flow of abundance. And then, by cultivating detachment from specific outcomes, law of detachment, you create the space, the freedom for your unique purpose, your dharma, to unfold naturally and gracefully, often in ways far better than you could have planned, because you're not boxing the universe in with rigid expectations. Each law really does support and amplify the others. It's a virtuous cycle.
Beautiful. So wrapping this all up, what is the ultimate goal here? If we really commit to living by these spiritual laws, what's the true prize? It's obviously more than just getting rich or famous in the conventional sense.
Oh, absolutely. We zoom out to the biggest picture. The ultimate goal isn't just material success, though abundance in all forms, including material, often falls naturally. The real profound purpose is to live a life filled with deep, abiding joy. Overflowing abundance, emotional, spiritual, relational, creative, and material, and an unshakable sense of purpose. It's about consistently reconnecting with your true self, that field of pure potentiality. By aligning your awareness, your thoughts, your actions with these fundamental cosmic laws, you learn to navigate life not just successfully, but effortlessly, meaningfully, fulfillingly on every single level. It's a path where you authentically contribute your unique gifts to the world, enriching others' lives, while simultaneously achieving your own desires with grace and ease. It leads to holistic well-being, vibrant health, loving relationships, a rich inner world, and that deep sense of knowing why you're here. It's about becoming the fullest, most joyful expression of who you were always meant to be. Success becomes a byproduct of a life lived in spirit. Tag outro.
Wow, what an absolutely incredible deep dive into such a transformative way of thinking about success, about life itself, really. We've explored shifting from struggle to flow, from looking outside for validation to finding wisdom within, how that can unlock this profound sense of purpose and joy. It really turns conventional wisdom on its head.
And fundamentally, remember, this journey is about understanding that true success is less about the specifics of what you do and much, much more about who you are, about how deeply you align your being with the intelligent, benevolent flow of the universe. It's an invitation to live in harmony, not in constant struggle.
So for everyone listening, as you go about your week navigating your own path, trying to perhaps integrate some of these ideas, what's the takeaway?
Well, this maybe raises one last important question for you to ponder.
Sure.
What if the biggest thing holding you back from your deepest dreams isn't really your circumstances or lack of talent or even lack of effort? But what if it's simply your own attachment, your attachment to a very specific, maybe even narrow picture of exactly how those dreams must come true? What new possibilities, what unexpected pathways, what incredible sense of freedom might open up for you if you could just loosen that rigid grip and allow the universe's infinite organizing power the space to work its magic in ways you can't even imagine right now.
Something powerful to consider. Thank you so much for joining us on this truly enlightening deep dive.
Bye.
Keep exploring, keep asking those deep questions, and keep aligning with your own highest potential.